Welcome back to the ASUS ROG DreamLeague live here from the DreamHack Monster Energy Studios. And we're here, of course, for Empire taking on Virtus.Pro. It's going to be our next game. It's only one game of the series. Unfortunately, Empire couldn't make it to the first game, and therefore Virtus.Pro gets a default win for that first game.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed because this is a series of the day. Like, this is probably...
It's unfortunate, but I mean, you know.
It is what it is.
True.
It is, yeah.
And,
I mean, they couldn't help it. They understood. It's just one of those things. They were traveling and just happened to be at that time. But you can understand it from both sides, I think.
Yeah, I actually saw some pictures on Twitter by Resolution from their bootcamp house. Looks pretty good.
Oh, yeah?
There's a pool. There's a huge pool.
It has a pool.
They got to unwind.
Has like
that explains why they were late, though. They're probably just swimming in the pool.
Sorry, we're going to be late. We're just toweling off.
Is that what Resolution sounds like?
When they're in a pool, yeah.
Ah, okay. This is pool voice.
This is pool voice.
They're pool bros.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was such a thing as a pool
He loses
voice.
the Russian accent when he talks about the pool.
That's true. What is the weather like wherever they are? I guess it's pretty good. If
Well,
they
the
have a
weather
pool.
looked pretty good on the pictures.
To be fair,
Sunny?
the weather looks pretty good here, but it's quite cold and windy.
True. This is true.
Yeah.
I mean,
Doesn't say
even
a
in
lot.
England, does it look good? Doesn't even look good in
I don't
England,
know.
right?
It doesn't look good
No,
anywhere.
Ireland's even worse, I think.
Yeah, it's just grey.
Miserable.
So it's a terrible island to live on, is what you're saying.
Ireland? Or England?
Just, you know, that whole...
England's probably worse, though. So.
May I compliment us all, by the way, also our casters today, with our choice of shirts. We are so colorful.
Oh, yeah. Look at that pink. What do you got?
It is, like, I actually just saw it on camera again, and it's...
What do you get there?
I've pulled already.
Get away.
Please, you both have me.
No.
I don't know if this shirt keys on the camera. It doesn't actually. I thought
No,
it
it's
does a
not that
little
bad.
bit.
Oh,
It's
a little bit.
It's good.
A little
I
It's
like
pretty
it, yeah.
decent. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, often you see all the dark shirts and the dark suits and just, you know, a bit dull, but we're like, it's like spring.
Super bright.
Yeah.
We could make our own
Right.
rainbow.
Yeah, we could.
We need a little bit more colors, but...
We
need, like, a
don't
yellow.
have yellow.
Yeah, we need
I think
yellow.
if we had yellow, we might actually be able to pull it off.
I just need to, like, not eat some
Was Eight
vitamins
Mother
for
is
a
wearing
while.
blue?
Jaundiced is what you're saying. Yeah.
Not great.
I nearly slept.
So we've got ourselves Empire taking on Virtus.Pro. What are we expecting to see here?
Okay, so both of these teams, I really want to see Resolution on his Dragon Knight. When we were in the last Dream League, like, his Dragon Knight just destroyed people. Like, it's probably his signature here for me. Like that or Invoker. Like they run it really well with Chen. I think Always Wanna Fly plays with Chen. It's very, very powerful.
I mean, we were talking about what you do if you're going to go DK and the Chen gets back.
Very good. Could you carry this one?
Did my mic break?
You think so?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
It's on.
Is this thing on? Yeah. Yeah. I've lost my train of thought.
You were talking about when the Chen gets banned.
When the Chen gets banned, we saw like what were the options, and we talked to Eight Mother about that. And we were saying is Enchantress a good alternate, and seems to be pretty good, but they didn't pick her up. Navi took her.
Yeah, it
instead,
was
but-
against the
yeah.
Dragon Knight.
But I think there are options. I think the DK with anything behind him that can just keep
Heal him
going.
up and-
yeah, it's pretty big.
Maybe a Dazzle or something. Though.
Well, we saw Empire yesterday, and they were 1-1, I believe, in that series. I can't even remember who they were facing, unfortunately. But
There's four of us and none of us remember.
there were so many games yesterday.
It was a long day.
It was a
They
really
definitely
long
played
day.
games, though, right? We saw
Ninjas
the
in
Oh,
pajamas.
Nip.
Yeah, they lost to Nip. Yeah.
Yes.
Because Jonas and Fan was playing at Darks here. Like, yeah, once I remember the one thing in the game, they all kind of...
They got 2-0, didn't they? Actually,
Yeah,
it was kind of a
Yeah.
surprise.
Yeah, we were really
True.
surprised.
Yeah. So the result of this game, if I remember rightly, basically, as long as Empire lose this game, then basically Burden are good, right? Isn't that
Burden,
true?
No, we
Burden
can-
currently have 5 wins. If they have 6, they tie with Vega.
We
If
can
they
bring
have
up the
7, they win.
standing.
They beat.
But they've already got to win because of the first game was given to them, right?
Yeah, there were basically two options for Vega
So
to
they're on
make
6
it.
now.
Oh, they're on 6 now. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. So they need.
Well, there were two
Very good.
options for Vega to make it to the top 6. One was if Virtus.Pro lost all their games, then they would have a chance. But you know, Virtus.Pro already default 1-1, so they're good so far.
Are these updated with the one...
Yes, because
is it
Virtus.Pro
because-
is sitting on an uneven number of
Yeah,
games.
but Burden
which
should
is-
be on an uneven number of games, and they're
Exactly.
No, Burden has
no,
to be
Burden,
on
Burden
uneven.
isn't in this series.
It's VP.
They have to be on 6. They still have to play
not. Oh, fair
6
enough.
games.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So for Vega now to still make it through, Burden United has to lose 5 of their 6 games.
Right.
Because Vega 2-0'd Burden United. So if they end up on even scores, which will happen if Burden United lose 5 of their 6 games, then Vega will still make it to DreamHack Summer and Burn United won't. But as soon as Burn United wins 2 games,
It's game over.
it's game over for Vega. And the next match for Empire is actually important to make it to the top 2, because if they lose, they actually lose their #1 spot to Virtus.Pro. And of course, that matters for seeding. And it also means that that Burning United can actually, in theory, also still make it to the top in terms of 1st or 2nd place. But both Virtus.Pro and Empire are going to DreamHack Summer.
Yes,
Yes.
I understand.
One of them will be top 2.
Yes.
Every time you speak into the microphone, I keep waiting for you to like lean it towards me or something. I don't know. It's really strange.
It is a little
Sorry.
odd, isn't it?
Yeah.
It
You
is,
actually have 2 mics. That's
I don't know.
pretty
Yeah, I
sick.
don't know why my mic is broken.
I don't know either.
Maybe a battery was put in incorrectly, or who knows why.
You were
but
chewing on it.
Your
I might
aura,
have sat on
the
it.
aura of Ted.
I might have sat on it too long. It's hard to say.
Combination of all of the above. So what are we thinking here? 1 game, you have only got 1 score. Who's going to win this game?
This is actually kind of more interesting. Like if you, like, because usually we don't have a winner in games. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, they're gonna go even or that kind of stuff. Ooh, I kind of want to. I favor VP, to be honest.
Still.
I think Empire. Like when we saw them yesterday, they did the silencer mid kind of thing. I know they didn't look like the Empire I've seen before. They didn't look powerful. And VP, when they draft their Phoenix, Winter Wyvern, and Witch Doctor, that kind of stuff. I just love, like, they have really like unique drafts, and they're not afraid to try stuff.
Like Jakiro.
Like Jakiro, yeah, and like Winter Wyvern, and they play it very well. So
I mean, there's also the fact that Empire have literally just sat down. Like, they've just been traveling,
Yeah.
they've just
Yeah.
unpacked. It'll be stuff like, oh, wait, I forgot to...
mouse settings.
Yeah, all that kind of
exactly.
stuff.
They're
That's-
at a
that was
different
gonna be what I was
table.
going to say.
Yeah.
They have a different table. They have a different chair, probably, because I don't think they're going to bring those along from to boot camp from home. So different settings, perhaps, as well. And, I mean, you've got a mansion around you.
Yeah, I mean, they literally just sat down. They haven't, like, played any scrims or
Yeah,
anything.
literally, they
Yeah.
just got off the car, the plane, the car, whatever, and they just unpacked, and they quickly unpacked everything. They're ready to go. So I think mentally, they'll either just surprise everybody and pull out some amazing game, or they'll just kind of lose it and just go and jump in the pool. So
Or like as in, I kind of had a morbid image of them.
No.
No.
So you're saying who's going to win? You're saying Virtus.Pro is going to win? Or are you saying
yeah,
it could go either way?
I think it's hard to say, but I think Virtus.Pro are obviously ready, and
Yeah.
Empire are barely ready. So just for this 1 game, but.
Someti-
I think if they were both ready, it would obviously be
Yeah.
different. but-
Sometimes if like you go into a new setting, you just met all your team, you're having a chat on the plane, having a chat on the bus, and you're like super excited to play the game. Like that could also be the other way to look at it.
Maybe. I mean, they basically know they're through, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
True. Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, I think like stylistically, holistically, they're probably about even. I think Empire's probably a little bit better, but in this instance, when Empire they just traveled, they're just sitting down, they're just kind of getting settled in. It seemed like they probably weren't taking things as seriously. You know, in that match against Nip, you can kind of tell they weren't really
the
like.
picks, they were like, we just thought, why not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's more like a scrim kind of thing, or like because this doesn't matter a ton to them, so.
They swapped up their lanes a bit as well. Like Yogi played mid.
Yep.
They did kind of weird stuff. So
Right, this is just like a tournament experience for them, not like a need to win. So I think VP is more likely. I mean, yeah.
And both teams are invited to the international, so they don't have the pressure of the qualifiers around the corner either, in terms of need to perform or need to get this extra practice in, because it's their last chance before the qualifiers, which is actually the case for a lot of the teams that we're going to see later today, because this is basically their last official matches before the qualifiers start, which might have a bigger impact on them. So what was you saying? You're saying Virtus.Pro win?
VP, yes, I think VP.
Did you say everybody said VP?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. That leaves me with a political decision to go for Empire.
All right. Yeah.
You're a good host, taking one for the team.
Yes.
You're a hero.
Great. So, what's your favorite player on Empire? Oh, actually, I know that because I know yours at least. What's your favorite player on Empire, Ted?
You like Resolution, don't you?
Yeah.
Big fan, yeah.
Yeah, also, yeah.
It's a good guy.
I actually thought Shane was going to say Aloha Dance.
What?
I thought you were going to say Aloha Dance.
Resolution's Invoker and his Dragonite. Like he plays Invoker, it just automatically wins in my book, pretty much.
Fair enough. What do you think we're going to see Invoker? We saw Invoker Dendy yesterday. It wasn't really doing great. It was a bit underwhelming.
I think that was a different kind of circumstance. Like
It wasn't because him playing Invoker.
No,
It was
he
more
hit some
like
pretty good sunstrikes and stuff, but I think Invoker is kind of greedy. He needs a lot of farm and like early space, and in the games, like especially against teams like VP, you don't get space.
I think Empire would play the other style of Invoker too, wouldn't they? Like the split pushing Invoker, like the safe lane split push,
Yeah,
as opposed to the mid like tempo Invoker.
Well, yeah, they usually send, like, they've done it mid, and they've also sent him solo safe lane as well. And he usually just gets the Necro book and kind of split pushes.
For VP, I really like FNG because he's a really cool guy. And when we were at the last DreamHack, when we were here in the winter, he was helping us all play Munchkin. So he's just that kind of guy. He's a nice guy. He's really cool. He's my boy, FNG.
I've yet to play Munchkin. I've heard a lot of good things about it, and I actually bought it for my sister as a present at some point.
I have it in my suitcase. We're going to play it next week for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay, I need to play that. That's
Is
good.
it a card game?
It's the best card game.
It's
it's amazing.
where I believe cheating is encouraged.
If you can get away with it and nobody spots it, it's in the rules.
Yeah. Because I
Saying
read
if you get
the
away
rules.
with it, go for it. So
Isn't
you
it
can,
not, it's not really cheating then, is it?
Oh, it is cheating, yeah. Because if you get caught, you know. I mean, but
Okay.
it's saying if you can cheat and get away with it, then go for it.
Ah.
It's basically what the game says.
Do you have the regular one or like the space one?
Just the regular
Okay.
one. Yeah.
I think that's
There's a
the
bunch
best
of them,
one.
right?
Like the
Yeah, there
original.
are tons. Yeah, tons.
Need to have the original. What's your favorite player, Matt?
I like. Well, I was going to say Resolution, but now I've changed my mind to Aloha Dance, just because I think he has maybe the best ID in all of esports. Not only is it Aloha Dance, it's all in caps, and so I feel like the commentators should be shouting it every time they say his
It's
name.
a command more than a name, right? Yeah.
Aloha Dance.
Does that mean, like, I kind of want to dance now? Like, I don't know what to do.
I'm terrified.
Hey, Yoka, can you please introduce the Team Empire to us?
What? Why?
Just use names,
Oh,
because
yeah.
there's not the only one.
So
You can cheat if you want.
I mean, I'm definitely gonna cheat just to
okay.
be sure.
Yeah.
It's Oh wait, who do they have that they're standing in for?
It's Blow Your Brain as they're standing.
Yeah, but who's
Yeah,
he standing in
who's
for?
normally?
Yoki.
Oh, it's Resolution, Yoki, Silent, Aloha Dance, and Always Want to Fly.
It's ridiculous. Good though.
That's what I was going for, because there's two names that actually have all caps letters in their team, which is pretty unique. There's not a lot of people that actually have that.
I think, it's very Russian. It shows the excitement they have for the game, the aggression, the passion. It's very intense.
We're reading a lot into that.
Maybe both of them had the same broken keyboard that had caps like stuck on it. I was like, what do you want to call yourself? I will be always want to fly. Aloha Dance.
So they've got one keyboard between them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I hope they lane together. They're going to be in trouble otherwise.
At least when they made their nicknames.
Yeah, when they made their nicknames, when they were younger.
There was one keyboard, someone spelled Coke on it, and it's like made
That
the
happens.
caps lock sticky.
Yeah.
What was that? I'm sure there was a tournament where they made two people play the same hero. What was that? And one person could move the hero and the other person.
Oh, didn't
Yeah,
ECS do that?
Yeah, was it
Yeah.
the Summit
Summit, I think.
2? So they
Yeah.
had them sat next to each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was
was fun.
interesting. Yeah, that was funny. And they had like a camera view of them, and
Yeah.
that was good.
That was funny. Actually, that's the only time that's been done, I think. Never happened before in the history of Dota 2. Waiting for that one. So we know who we're expecting to win, but I believe for me the most important thing, laning stage, how much is going to depend on outplaying the opponent, and do you think that we're already going to see an outdraft? Because obviously both drafters of both teams very strong.
Yeah, I think it's very difficult to predict FNG when he drafts.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen him pick all sorts of crazy stuff. And I think Bounty Hunter in this series could be huge because both teams play it very, very well. Like, having a Bounty Hunter when you have an aggressive player like G on your team, for example, for VP, that could be huge. Like, they just push the tempo, like, constantly. There's also, like, I think it's very difficult to draft against FNG in general, though. Like, he's just
He
completely
sometimes pulls out a Viper at
Yeah.
second pick. Nobody saw that coming, not
Yeah,
even
me-
himself.
it's ridiculous. Like,
I really like his drafts in general. I like that he's one of those guys that's very open to just kind of, what comes to mind.
Yeah.
Like he'll just do it and see if it works.
Yeah, I think there's an element of bravery there too, because a lot of times people draft. Like I always say to the pros, why is this the meta? Why is this the thing? And they're just like, well, honestly, because it worked for someone else and you look smart picking it. I mean, that's a lot of teams just go, well, if I pick this, people will say, oh, of course he's picked that strat. Whereas if you pick two heroes that maybe other people don't pick and you lose, you look like an idiot.
Yeah.
So, it is a brave decision to pick a hero that hasn't been picked generally in that meta. So I think he's the kind of guy that would happily pick whatever he wants.
Yeah, when we interviewed him before as well, he said, like, I'm completely open to it. Like, so G would say, I like this hero. And he said, okay, we'll try it out. You know what I mean? Like, he's not like, oh, that hero doesn't suit the meta or any of that kind of stuff. They're fairly open to change. It's not-
Yeah, I actually, I really liked it about FNG as well. I mean, we saw it work out as well. I mean, there was a Jakiro, Crystal Maiden as well. And even yesterday, before the Na'Vi Leshrac game, we had FNG pick up Leshrac 4G in the mid lane. And it went really well. And afterwards, he's like, yeah, I don't know why people don't pick that up yet. Didn't call it first bad material. Boy, was he wrong, at least yesterday. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. But yeah, definitely gonna look out for perhaps a Leshrac again this time. I'm actually thinking perhaps they're still trying to ban it out. What do you expect from Empire in return? I mean, we have seen, of course, Virtus.Pro a bit more the last few days.
They have a stand-in though, so it's kind of hard to tell what position role he's going to play.
Well, blow your brain.
Yeah, he's
is a core.
Yeah, he's a carry player. Yeah.
Yeah, Yoki off lane, so perhaps they're jumping
But
around a bit.
sometimes like some carry players wouldn't really be suited to the offlane. Like even I can give the example of Loda when he moved to Asia to play. He couldn't play offlane at all.
Silent used to play offlane.
That's true.
So
yeah.
I would assume that Blow Your Brain is going to be taken on the core role, and Silence will then move to the offlane. And to be honest, what have we been seeing? We have been seeing dual lanes all the time, so
Yeah, true.
they don't need to actually select your typical tri-lane or safe laner with your typical offlaner.
I think that regarding the Leshrac, up until the point when Havost pulled off that play with the Leshrac,
Yeah.
Na'Vi didn't look like they were necessarily going to win that game.
True.
They're doing really badly in
They
that
were.
game.
And that turnaround, I think in the back of their mind they're going to think, no, if it would have been fine against the Leshrac. It was only that one mistake that we made.
They did ban it out the second game.
Yeah,
though.
they did, but that was specifically because Havost was clearly on a tear with that hero. And they were like, we don't want to face this again.
Yeah, I
but-
guess like a psychological thing too for your
Exactly.
own team.
Yeah.
and he's
just-
fully warmed up on the Lesh. You know, he's ready to go.
He played it against Vega as well at that point, so
Yeah, true.
so you're not expecting a Lash ban at all?
I don't think necessarily against Empire they will, no.
I think
No.
they could pick it. I think VP will pick it, and they like it with their Winter Wyvern and their like push kind of strategy. Like it's terrifying. That Winter Wyvern against any heal, like he has the lockdown, he has the sustain with the heal, like even the long range harass. Like it's very difficult to play against that hero.
I hope we get a Jakiro again. I like that
Me too.
Jakiro
Me
they played
too.
yesterday.
One of my faves.
And
Love to see
Crystal
him. Great
Maiden,
team fight
please,
hero.
as well.
Crystal Maiden.
Yeah,
Is she your
FNG.
favorite?
Yeah, I like seeing her playing more competitively because she actually can do a lot in the early game as well.
Yeah, we've seen some big ults in some
Yeah.
of these games.
Yeah.
Big CM ults. And just in general, her stun is really good.
Yeah, and not even that alone. I mean, if you get her aura as well, it allows the rest of your lanes to be more active because they can spam out more of their spells as well. So overall, I'm a fan.
Do you remember the last game of the summer when Puppy was playing
Yes.
CM? Yeah, and he just went into the jungle as maxed aura and his team like Bounty Hunter. That kind of. They just had complete map
Yeah,
sustain.
it's huge. We're into the draft, guys.
We are. So we already know what we're expecting. It's time to hear from our casters if they agree with the couch who think that Empire is going to be losing this game, or if they agree with me, which says that Virtus.Pro is going to be losing this game. We'll find out soon with 8 Mother, Draskon, Odie Pixel for Empire taking on Virtus.Pro.